if this is the kind of life that you want to live, the CIA is the best place for it. There is nothing better or nothing like this anywhere near. I've actually been to college before. This isn't my first trip. I went to West Texas A&M and absolutely loved it. I had a lot of fun there. I started as a bio major, and then I went over to psychology. But then I had this really bad summer, and like a lot of family members died, and it was just a mess. But after that, my coach, Connie McKee, was like, you know, the only time I ever see you happy anymore is when you're talking about cooking. And I started to really think about that. Like, if it's what makes me happy at the worst of times, then why am I not doing that all the time?
Well, I'm looking for the consistency of a burger wheat, like a light tabbouleh. That's what I'm looking for.
I was working at a chocolate shop, a local chocolate shop at home, and I had just fallen absolutely in love with it. And then I'd watched a video for the Culinary Institute of America. I watched it for a New York campus, and I just, as soon as I watched the video, I knew. It's like, I'm gonna go to school there. It was one of those things for me that God really immediately put it on my heart of like, that thing you've been searching for, it's right here, here you go.
Food, and just like many other cultures, it's this thread that ties us. You know, it doesn't really matter where you come from, what religion. Food is that one element that everyone can relate to.
I think chefs non-vegan and chefs are the worst. Yeah.
A lot of it that drew me here is that it's very hands-on. There's a lot of physical work, right? And so I used to play sports, and that competitive nature, the physical work, and the practical application. There's nothing that I have learned in a classroom here that I have not been immediately able to apply in the kitchen and see with my own hands.
Okay, stuffing, duck cell, for example. Here my ravioli maker right here.
I think the hardest part is them realizing that it's so much more than what they see on TV. It's not just always fun, that you don't just walk into a kitchen and cook and then you leave. It's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of math and science. It's not easy, and it takes a certain type of individual to really make it in this business, to do really well. And I think for a lot of young students, they think it's going to be glamorous, and it's not glamorous in the way that it's showcased.
There's been some images set by previous chefs that are famous or not famous on the lifestyle, and that's not always true, and you don't have to fall into that. It's not as glamorous as people think it is.
The amount of cooking versus class time right now is so different. It's like 70-30 class time to actual kitchen time. We're actually only right now 4 classes in our kitchen 2 days a week. We actually have sit-down lecture hall classes Monday through Wednesday. And even on Thursday, Fridays, we have full lectures, and we have quizzes, we have tests, we have essays. I have an essay due next week over an influential pastry chef. I gotta write that. As such is college life, you find the time when you can.
It's kind of emotional because there's a lot of physical labor, right? So at the end of the day, in a typical college, I can like stay up all night, sleep through a couple classes, and it's whatever, right? Here, I need to be up at 6, or actually I have to be up at 5 a.m. so that I can be here at 6:30, prepping and ready in the kitchen. Class starts at 7, and it just rolls.
Hi.
our demo should be done. I need to cut up everything.
I'm gonna put some water and I'm gonna tie it up right here.
I have to prove that I'm willing to show up at every hour of the day to be able to just give it all up and be here. Some of my male counterparts here don't have to do half the work, and they're counted for the work ethic. I have to show up and actually do every single bit of the work for it to play off. I work on the weekends here. I work at our taco stand, and I've noticed that a lot. It's usually me and then 4 other guys, and I have to do about twice the work to get the "you've done a good job today" or to.
It's about not letting your team down. Because like in a regular college, if I fail a course, oh well, I'll have to pay for it again. You know, it's not that bad. But if I fail here, I'm dragging down my bay mates' goals and dragging down their grades, which is a little harder to live with, personally.
Oh, wait. We're gonna wait until he does the demo. We're just gonna use that first.
It's hard work. You just got to pay attention to it. But if it's part of you, if it's your oxygen, if it's your religion, and if you just want to do it, then it's just part of you. It's not nothing you have to slave over. If you like reading cookbooks and you're like watching TV documentaries on food or going out to eat at restaurants and spending your money on somebody else's food, then it's just part of you. I spend most of my money, I think, on food.
Pass around, test it, bring it back. That's your pesto. Any questions so far?
I look at my students and I know that not all of them will be cooks and chefs. We have such a large age range. Some of them are career changers, some of them retired. And so culinary school has really evolved in that back in the day, if you went to culinary school, it was mainly to be a chef. Right now, they can go into blogging and photography and food history and film and all sorts of things. So they recipe development and research. So they actually don't have to actually step foot in a kitchen and put in the long hours and long days at all.
I have tons of appreciation for people that went to school. Half my kitchen has schooling, half my kitchen doesn't, and they're all good. So it's all in a person. It's not. School is great for networking, and as you go through your career, school is awesome because you're going to connect with a lot of people and be exposed to a lot of things that may not be there for everybody else.
I'm here to absorb as much as I can. Because the things that I absorb here, the connections you make here, the people you meet here, these students will go out and be the future of the culinary industry in the United States of America and internationally. You have to have guns of steel to be here, but it's not impossible.